Hi, it's Marie Torres and Andrew Murray here, and congratulations for joining Visalus. Now, what I've got here is a quick getting started training, so how to make your first $600 to $1,000 your first week in Visalus. Now, the whole idea is to take massive action. So you want to think about anybody who has ever built a business, any brick and mortar businesses, online, offline businesses. What do they do when they start a business? Obviously, they want people to know about it. They want people to know that they are selling something. So you want to take massive action. You want to do as many exposures to people as possible in a very short, condensed period of time. Now, the most important thing for you to understand is when you're building a network marketing business, urgency and momentum are key. Now, no matter when you start, you have to understand that at the end of the month in every single company, the volume that you accumulate flushes to zero. So you want to think about exposing your business and showing people your business and as many people as quickly as possible. So you can imagine if you're only going to show one person a week or you had one person come in as a customer per week, your business wouldn't grow that quickly because volume flushes. So I always tell people, think about bringing in 15 ESSs, so 15 people who are interested in a business in that 30-day period. Think about bringing in 15 customers in that 30-day period. And what happens when you do that and you bring in a whole bunch of people at the same time is that they start to create leverage for you because everybody is creating volume at such a rapid pace. And that's why people can hit rank so quickly when they get into massive action. Now, some of the key things that you really need to know about when you start building a Visalus business is that we don't look at our business month to month. You know, if you look at your business month to month, you really are going to be building slowly. Just because most people, when they think about month to month, they don't really do very much at the beginning of the month, and then they try to make it all up in the end. Now, Visalus, we work our business week to week. So the Visalus week starts on Friday and goes to Thursday. So you always want to think about Friday to Thursday. And the way to maximize this comp plan is to bring in at least 3 business builders in that period. Because if you do, you will get a check between $600 to $1,000 each and every single week. Now, first rank in Visalus is what we call a rising star director. And prior to coming into Visalus, if you had a conversation with me or Andrew or your upline, you know that we would have explained this to you because rising star director is the first rank in Visalus and it is absolutely the most important. Now, when you get to rising star director, you are qualified to be paid and we want to do that as quickly as possible. Now, in the GST training, you'll see that it says 30 days, or we always talk about 30 days to Rising Star Director, but in that GST training, you'll see that that time is condensed, and it's 4 to 7 days. Now, if you're not familiar with it, why do you want to be a Rising Star Director? Now, you want to be a Rising Star Director because you get to take part in this weekly enroller pool that happens each and every single week. And it's that weekly enroller pool that makes the difference between a $300 check or a $900 to $1,000 check for the exact same work. So again, if you get to the rank of director, within 30 days, you're called a rising star. You have one shot to do it, and that's why we're always talking about building with urgency and momentum. Now again, like I said, a check for $600 to $1,000, you want to do that within your first 4 to 7 days in Visalus. Now, what is a rising star director, or what is the requirement for director? Well, it's 2,000 in volume and 3 active legs at 125. So basically, to explain that to you, it's 2,000 in volume, and so volume in dollars, it's a straight exchange. Your own personal purchase counts. So if you came in at $9.99, you only have to make up 1,000 in volume. If you came in at $4.99, you only need to make up 1,500 in volume. Now, you have to have 3 active legs. So that means that you have to have 2,000 in volume and 3 active legs. And an active leg is always a distributor. So you're thinking 3 people in your business that are building a business, 3 active legs. Now, where do we start? we always start with gst.visalus.com. We have a very, very simple system here, gst.visalus.com, and you want to follow it because it will help you build fast. It will help you get to Rising Star Director fast, and it will also help your team members do the exact same thing. You know, we know that the metric in Visalus is as your business grows as fast as you can break Rising Star Directors. So you have to think, even if you're just starting right now, you are your own team leader. You set the pace. Okay, so you set the pace for your entire organization. So you want to get to Rising Star Director as quickly as possible. And then we want to be able to impart this urgency on your team so that they build quickly and then your entire business builds quickly. Now, your game plan. So GST, the GST training, it says make your list. So what you want to do is you want to write down at least 30 local people to you and then at least 30 non-local people to you. And what you're going to do with that list is you are going to call all of these people within a 48-hour period. Now, in the GST training, there's a tiny little script there, and you're just basically going to go through that. That's what you're going to say. It's, hey, hey, George, I just started the 90-day challenge, and when I started it, I immediately thought of you. Go ahead and take a look at this, and I will call you back either later today or tomorrow at the latest, and you can let me know if you're interested. And you see, once you do that, you start to get into contact with these people. It's just about doing an introduction. Don't take a lot of questions. Don't explain the challenge. Just tell them that you've started one. If they start asking you questions about this, all you have to say is, you know what? Go ahead and look at what I'm sending to you. And after that, we can get back together because at least we'll be on the same page and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And at that point, you'll know if you're interested. Now, this part of the process is what we call pre-party. So that pre-party is basically where you're giving people several different exposures. We always say at least 2 pre-party exposures. The reason we say that is because the last step of this whole process is a challenge party, okay? And we want you to book 3 challenge parties within your first week. Why do we want you to do that? We want you to do that because we want you to get to Rising Star Director again in 4 to 7 days. Now, the challenge party close is a perfect close because people get to engage with the product, they get to try it, and they really get to see what the whole company and the business is about. But what I want you to understand is this pre-party, that's the most important step. So what is pre-party? Pre-party is after you've done the introduction, you've talked to them about that you've started the getting started training, you've talked to them about getting started with the 90-day challenge. You want them to either go and listen to the Visaline, so that's that short little sizzle call. The next thing is you want them to do overview.visalus.com, which is where they get a really good overview of the program. Another pre-party exposure is the passive income webinar, and you can ask me about that if you haven't already seen it. And then the other pre-party exposure is a 3-way to your upline. So just to give you an idea, if you've gotten the person on the phone, you've 3-wayed them into the Visaline, they're interested and have questions, you can do an immediate 3-way to your upline. If they've gone through the overview.visalus.com, you've given them this other exposure and they're interested, immediate 3-way to your upline. We want you to use us as much as possible to be able to leverage what we know about Visalus and to be able to talk to your prospects. So always as many 3-ways as possible after the pre-party. Now the challenge party. Okay, the challenge party is the last part of this whole equation, but I really want you to sort of make a mental shift in what you think the challenge party is. Now, we know that people need to see something several times before they're familiar enough with it in order to make a decision to buy. So you really want to think of your challenge party as a sign-up party. So that basically means that people have had so much information about the Body by Vi challenge, about the business, that they've seen a lot, they've talked to us, they've seen the overview, they've listened to the Visaline, and so they really are coming to sign up. Okay, they know a lot about the company. They've seen it several times. You sent them lots of different things for them to look at. So all they really are coming to do is sign up at your party. It's just a formality. Now back to urgency and momentum. You want to build with urgency and momentum. You want to come in here as quickly as possible, get those exposures done, get people through the process. And I always say to people, think about talking to at least 3 to 5 people a day. If you're doing that and you're consciously making those exposures, showing people your business will grow so quickly. So you really want to be doing that, attacking with urgency and momentum. Now, what is the goal? Rising Star Director by the end of the week. So by the end of the Visalus week. So if you come in on Friday, you want to get there within the Thursday. So the Visalus week again is Friday to Thursday. If you come in on Monday, you want to get to Rising Star Director within 4 days, just by Thursday. If you come in on Tuesday, by Thursday, you want to be a Rising Star Director. If you come in a Wednesday, you want to be a Rising Star Director by Thursday. It's 4 to 7 days to Rising Star Director. And people say, well, we have 30 days to do it. Why do I want to do it in such a quick period of time? Why? Because if you can get to Rising Star Director in the first 4 to 7 days, we can get you to that BMW in 30 days. Think about how much more money you're making, how much more your team will grow if you teach them how to follow this process. So you really want to think of as much leverage as possible, and that starts with quickness. Now to recap, again, massive action. Once you get into this business, don't think about it too much. Don't feel like you need to learn everything about the process. That is why your upline is there. That is what we're here for, to three-way to answer questions, to help leverage you so that you can get into profit as quickly as possible. If you get to Rising Star Director within your first 4 to 7 days, you've already gotten your investment back, plus you're in profit. So again, massive action. Other step, gst.visalus.com, the Getting Started training. Make sure you do that. That will only take you 20 minutes. Really discipline yourself to go through that process. Because we know if you go through that process, you are going to come out as a Rising Star Director very, very quickly. And again, Rising Star Director within the first 7 days. So with that, I am very, very excited to work with each and every single one of you, and I look forward to helping you reach the top of this comp plan.